So, one oxygen is going to get paired up with one hand, and the other oxygen is going to get paired up with the other hand. And so, what you end up with is two oxygens and four oxygens and two leads. All right. On to the next one. Let's try. Oh yeah, here's one. Okay. Here's a trick. I'll show you this trick. So, this can also help you to understand a little bit better as well. The charge of lead was 4, plus 4. The charge of oxygen was minus 2. What you can do is write that there, write that there, and they cancel each other out, and you got Pb2O4. Nice. All right? Boom. Okay. So, let's try this one. Write the formula with this name. So we're going the opposite direction this time. Before we started with the formula and wrote the name, now we're going to have the name to write the formula. This way is actually probably a little bit easier to figure out. So, step 1 is to write the metal's name. Now, iron and oxygen. The iron is always written first. So obviously, iron is the metal. Now iron, just like lead, can have different charges. It's a transition metal. What's the charge of this one? It's plus 3. How do we know that? Because it's written as 3. Once again, Roman numerals. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So, basically, what we have is iron with a plus 3 charge. So, what is the atomic symbol for iron? Is it I? Is it IR? Or is it FE? Raise your hand if you think it is I. Come on, raise it nice and high. Hands high for I. Put your hand down because that is not I. That is iodine. Not I. Iron. Is it IR? Come on, IR. IR. No, it is not IR. That is iridium. It is Fe? Yes, iron is kind of strange because its symbol is Fe. It stands for ferrous. Ferrous, not Ferris Bueller, but ferrous is a Latin word for iron. Ferrous. So iron. When you think of iron oxide, what do you think of? Well, iron oxide is actually rust. And if you don't know that, you might be a little bit rusty yourself. No offense. But, oh well. Okay. So, we established this. Ferrous oxide, iron oxide, whatever you want to call it, is rust. How do we write it out? Well, first of all, write out the metal. Fe, its charge is 3 plus. Oxide is basically just oxygen, right? Oxygen with the IDE ending. We don't say oxidide, because that just sounds really funky. So they actually shorten it up for us, so that it's just oxide. Oxygen, oxide. Okay? Same type of thing, it's the ending. Charge of oxygen is minus 2. Remember the trick that we just did? The 2 can go here. The 3 can go here. And here's another way to check it out. The overall charge has to be neutral, right? Plus 3 times 2 is a plus 6. Minus 2 times 3 is a minus 6. If I have 6 apples and I take 6 away, how many apples do I have? Correct. 0. Alright. So the formula is Fe2O3. It's exactly right. Alright. So, now hopefully you have an understanding of ionic compounds and how to name them. If that's a little bit hazy, feel free to rewind and watch some of the videos again. Otherwise, just ask for help. That is what the teacher is there for. Okay? So, on the covalent bonds. Remember way back at the beginning of the lesson, I said there's 3 basic steps. Here are the 3 basic steps again. Number 1, identify is it ionic or covalent. Step 2, if it's ionic, then we do all the steps that we just did there. Basically, what I just went through is step 2. Now I'm going to go if it's covalent, step 3. If it's covalent, basically you got to ask yourself one question. Do you feel lucky? No, that's not the question. I was just trying to be silly. How many of each atom are there? Okay, how is that relevant? Well, we can count, right? Everybody can count. Hopefully by this grade you can count. I count on you to be able to count. Okay, once you identify it's not ionic, it must be covalent because it's 2 nonmetals, 2 or more nonmetals bonded together is covalent. Naming covalent bonds is actually much easier. All you have to know is this simple fact right here. 1. You need to know these prefixes. Prefixes are things that go before the element's name itself. 1 atom in the name represents mono. Not the sickness mono, but mono as in 1. Mano a mano is 1 on 1. Okay? 2 is represented by di or bi. And you can remember that because bicycle has 2 wheels. Okay? Di is another way to represent that. Tri, think tricycle, 3 wheels. Tri means 3. Anybody have any idea what number 4 would be? The prefix for number 4? Any guesses? I'll give you a hint. There's a game out there that has a bunch of blocks, and every single rearrangement of the blocks is 4 blocks, arranged in all different shapes and sizes. That game is called Tetris. You have these little things that fall down in every single rearrangement of 4 blocks. 4 blocks. Tetris. So what do you think it is? 4 is tetra. Tetra. Not tetre, but tetra. So pretty stinking close. Alright? So, Tetris should make you remember something then. When mono, di, or bi, it really depends. Doesn't matter too much to really try, tetra. And then really after that, it doesn't really go much after that too much, but next one's, sorry, I skipped one. Next one is penta. Think pentagon has 5 sides. What does a 6-sided figure have? Hexa. Hexagon, you're getting it now. 7 is hepta. And a stop sign has 8 sides. Octa. Octa. Okay. So, basically what you need to know are prefixes. Here's how it relates. Okay, so, long bunch of words here, I'll explain in a second. What you do is you